Hello guys, are you tired of doing the wildwoods or playing with a weak MF character or preparing an hour of trades to choose only one map? Well then, I have the best strategy that's perfect for you. This is a strategy that's about farming the frog beast that you see in the screen, and also essences, and finally some of the delirium orbs that you're going to get while doing this strategy. To give you a little insight, the frog is currently at 40 vines, which is always going to be duplicated using a sextant, so it's actually 80 vines each time you encounter it in a map. And then you have a chance to duplicate it again for 16 divines total. This is what is making this strategy so broken right now. I will show you in detail how to do the currency farming strategy, and also will show you that I did 130 maps in total, and I invested around 10 divines and made back 160 divines in 4.5 hours. So we're going to talk about the pros and cons of running this strategy, then the setup that I used. That is pretty simple. It's only one scarab and one sextant. Then we're going to analyze where the profit is coming and what makes the most of it. And as a spoiler, it's the frogs that will make most of the profits. Then we're going to talk about how to run this strategy. Then we're going to see the ADAS tree that I've used for all my setup and all the changes that I made in the process. Then an important tip to run this strategy, that is basically that the movement speed is key for this whole setup. Then my test run that consisted of 130 maps. And finally, we are going to see the profits and results calculations of running this test run. And at the end, I will add a gameplay explaining you step by step where I'm running these maps and showing what are the beasts that we want to find. And we also found a frog in the showcase, so that's pretty good to see how it looks like. We are running strategy low tier maps, is tier 5 and tier 6, so that's easy to run for any build that independently on your stage. Then this strategy involves basically no looting, so that's pretty good and refreshing compared to what we are used to in the Affliction League. Then that all of the returns are basically liquid currency because they sell instantly using TFT. For example, the frogs are going to sell pretty damn quick for one single person that's going to take all of your beasts. Then the setup consists in only using one scarab and one sextant, so the whole setup process previously to running the maps is pretty easy and not tedious at all. Then we are not doing the wildwoods. If you're already tired of it, doing the meta strategies that we run in nowadays, this is going to be quite refreshing. And last but not least, the profits that you are going to get running this strategy are amazing. This is not a mediocre strategy at all. I think that this is the perfect time to run this strategy until a lot of other people start running and this becomes much less profitable. Then for the cons, you are going to need to use TFT to sell your essences in bulk. In my case, I did sell them for 110 the total value using the PO Ninja prices. And I did only one trade, and I sold all of them to one single person, and I got around 30-ish divines. I have a video in the channel about how do you sell in TFT using some other tools, so you can take a look at that. And finally, that you need to run 2 different maps. So we are always in Path of Exile used to running one single map and spam that map endlessly. And this strategy, we're going to need to run 2 different maps since you want to sustain. There is a main map that we're going to run, and when we run out of those maps, we are going to run the connected map, and we are going to restock, and then we're going to repeat that process. Okay, so for the setup, this is quite simple. We only are using one scarab and one sextant. This scarab is the gilded bestiary scarab, and we want gilded because it adds more red beasts into your maps, so that increases the chances of spawning the frog, and they are very cheap, as you can see, 6 chaos. If you get them in bulk, it's going to be a little bit more expensive, but still very worth based on the frog prices. And then we're going to use this sextant for duplicating our beasts. Okay, what the sextant does is that every time you capture a beast, you are going to get a copy in your menagerie. So each time you encounter the frog, you're going to get 2 of them. So instead of 4 divines, that's going to be 8 divines. And when the beasts are duplicated thanks to the high NR properties in the map, that's 2 beasts you're encountering in the map are going to be duplicated again thanks to the sexton. So you're actually getting 4 of these frogs with a total of 16 divines in one single encounter. Sometimes, okay, most of the time it is going to be 8 divines, and sometimes it's going to be 16 divines. For the maps, we are going to run the STRAT map because this is a very straight layout. It's a map that you just go forward, and at the end there is a boss. You kill the boss, you're out of the map, and then you get to the next one. And when you run out of these random maps, because even adding all of these map nodes in the Atlas tree, I'm still running out of maps because we are not actually using. We are adding one map in the favorite slots for the fields. And once we run out of strand maps, we are going to go and run some of the fields so we can restock the strand maps, and then we go back running the strand, and we repeat that process for the whole strategy. So about the profit distribution, as you can see, the beast and when I say the beast, that's the frogs mainly. It's basically most of our profits. We want to find the piece so badly. And then we have the essences making around 20% of the total profits, and then some of for the delirium orbs. Think that this is 6% of 170 divines. So, and the order is just some of the loot that you're encountering, for example, random divine drops or chaos or random scarabs, loot conversions, and that kind of stuff. Okay, for the Atlas tree, we are obviously speccing full into the beasts. As you can see here, this is the chance for getting a duplicated beast. And then we are adding this node that gives us extra chance for finding rare beasts. And this is the node for having more chance of spawning certain beasts, and the frog is in that category. So we're only adding these 2 nodes. Then for the essences, we are just speccing everything we have for essences. Then we are blocking the order mechanics so they cannot spawn in the map, and that will increase the chance of getting another essence mob. Then we have all of these map nodes, so we can have a better sustain. And finally, we have the delirium chance. We have here, I had it here, but I decided to spec into more beast chance. Then I added some of the chance for making the delirium mist a little bit harder, so we can get more rewards. This is the same case for these points. This makes your delirium bars to feel faster, and once you kill the boss at the end of the map, you get 1 extra bar for free. And finally, to be able to add the essences in the map device, we are going to use the 7th gate. We are going to spec all of these 6 gates here, 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 and here. So we can pay 2 chaos for an extra essence mob in your maps. And yeah, that's basically it for the tree. I was testing also these cluster of nodes that makes that sometimes you're not using the scarab, but in my opinion, I think that you should change that because this is 1 in 10. So I think that I would change this for more delirium chance than I had previously. So we're going to get more delirium orbs out of it. And yeah, that's basically for the tree. Okay, so here's a quick tip for running this strategy, and that is that the movement speed is one of the most important stats to increase your profits. So this is why I took my regular TS MF character, and I decided to remove all of the MF, which was the Ventor's Gamble and the gold rims, and I then changed the chest, and I got Queen of the Forest. As you know, it gives you extra movement speed based on your evasion rating. And then I changed my boots also to have more resistance to cover the resistance that I lost for my old chest. And also this is 30 movement speed boots with action speed in the implicits, so that's pretty good. So this actually makes my build faster So that allows you to run the maps even faster. And I'm pretty sure that you can do more changes into your build, changing the jewels, for example, so you can go even faster. Because since we are running this strategy in low tier maps, you actually don't need much damage or survivability. The mobs, even the essences mobs, are pretty not tanky at all. Another change was that I am changing the anger for the haste. So again, you get more movement speed. I only switch back to anger when I'm at the end of the Delirium Mist and I find a tanky mob and that I have to take it down. So I remove the haste in that case and add back the anger. So my test run consisted in 130 maps, which I paid 4.3 divines in sextant. As you can see here, this is a lot more because the guy was only selling by 50 at the time, so I had to buy more. But for the 130 maps, that's 4.3 divines. Then I paid 4 divines in scarabs. This is the 130 maps. And then finally 2 divines for the remnants of corruption to corrupt the essence mob, which I oversustained at the end. So I would recommend you to get 9 or 18 to start, and then you're going to get them back, since some of the mobs that we will encounter will be already corrupted and they will drop a remnant of corruption. So in total, this was around 10.3 divines for the initial investment. Of course, you don't need to set up 130 maps. You can do it in half of it. And once you start getting the frogs, you can sell them, and then you are going to be able to buy more maps easily. Then I have a capture of running after a run all the 130 maps. As you can see in the image, I have a lot of the beasts. I have some of the run of corruption that I didn't use because, again, I was over sustaining them. Then, as you can see, also there's all the colors from the essences and a bunch of general loot that you're going to find. For example, some of the currency. We have a simulacrum here from the simulacrum splinters. There's a car here, a map that rolled beyond, and some of extra loot here that I could not add in the quad tab. Then, if we price everything in PoEStack, we got the amazing amount of 187 divines in total, which, again, as we already said, most of it comes from the frogs. In PoEStack, the price was at 4.5 divines, but I did sell them at 3.9 divines, so I could sell everything for the video. We will consider that in the final calculations. And the rest, as you can see, it's more bees, some of the simulacrums, and a lot of the essences, which was over 30 divines, and the Delirium orbs was around 10 divines, and that makes this final number. Okay, so after I sold all of the beasts, the essences, and the Delirium orbs, I have some of the trades here, and this is all the currency that I got back. Like I said, this was less than 5 trades. As you can see, I have here 158 divines raw, and some of the chaos that this makes around 6 extra divines. And in the other tab, I have more stuff. For example, 2 more raw divines that I got in these 130 maps, and some more currency that you can sell. Not that liquid, but you can sell them. This is just to show you how easy it is to sell all of the stuff that you get from the strategy, the beasts, the essences. You can sell them all to one single person, and the amount of currency that we make back is insane. It's truly insane. So let's see the profit calculations. So instead of the 187 divines that we priced it in PoEStack, let's say we got 130 divines, considering what I got by actually selling everything. I mean, with everything, I mean the beasts, the essences, and the daily orbs. So considering the 130 maps, to me it took around 2 minutes and some seconds in average. This was measured using the map watch, so that's around 4.5 hours. So if you take the revenue of 130 divines and we subtract the cost, we continue with the calculations, we have a total value of 35 divines per hour, which is unbelievable, right? So I started to consider, even though I did 130 maps, maybe I got lucky with the frogs. So Even if I consider that I got lucky with the beast encounters and I cut the beast in half, the profit is still over 20 divines. So this is amazingly broken right now. We are at the point of the league where the beast is so expensive because so many crafters are trying to imprint the items, because they are trying to reroll the implicits to create a good base and then craft a mirror tier item. So since those people have a very high demand on the beast, and I suspect that and not many of the players are farming the rogue, so that's the reason that the strategy is so profitable, at least right now. And also by running a strategy which we are trying to squeeze the most of it and trying to get as many frogs as we can alongside the essences and the daily orbs, which adds to the profit. So in conclusion, in my opinion, the market is just inflated right now. Aside from the general market inflation we are living thanks to the Affliction League, so there's a huge demand for the frog and to imprint items and do the crafting stuff, and there's only a few farming them. That's where we came into the play. This is actually creating these high prices, and the frog is not that hard to farm, especially for any specific strategy like this one, and we can get crazy profits. And yeah, and that's it for the video, guys, and hope you try it. Okay, so I will leave you now with a gameplay that I recorded to show you the process step by step, so you know what you are getting into. And see you guys in the next one. I'm going to walk you through the whole process of the strategy, and I'm going to show you step by step how to do it. First, we're going to start with the maps. So we're going to be looking for the strand maps. For this example, I always take 4 and I fill here for 3 rounds, so it's actually 12. And I am gonna just alch them. I'm not chisel them because chisels are very expensive. And check the mods. And yeah, I think this has a crit, and you can do crit because this is just a tier 1 map. And once I alch them, the other step is checking the compasses. Okay, so I'm getting this. I'm using the same compass. As you can see, this is just for the beast ones to have a higher in your maps, and I'm using them in all of the 4 watchstones. Okay, since we are using only one, I'm adding only one when I'm doing my maps, and when I do a 4 round of maps, I just exchange the watchstone to another, and once I do the 16 maps, I repeat the same process. Okay, so we are socketting only one watchstone, and we are adding the scarabs in the map device, and never forget to select the essences as the map option. Okay, and that's it. You activate the map device, and you're ready for your first map. So now you have to check if you have the Delirium mirror, and because we are adding some of these chances to spawn the mirror. Okay, so as you can see in this map, we did spawn the Delirium. So we are activating it, and we just start to looking for the beasts and the essences. Okay, collecting the maps. You have to check that the beasts are in if you're getting the prop, so you can take it out from the bestiary. We check the essences. And going too fast for the mist, that's something that you have to keep an eye. For some reason it is paused. Okay, now the mist. Okay. And this essence, since there are so many of them, I don't care which one are there, so I will grab them and get more value out of it. Since we are too far away from the starting point, the essence mobs are too tanky, so we're leaving them for later. So we're just going to clear the map and get to the boss and get the video rewards, and we're going to be back. Okay, so here's the boss. Okay, pretty good.
My mana is gone.
That was a hunt you will not soon forget. You're welcome. Goodbye.
And that's it. Map's done, and now jump to the next one. Can check if this is valuable. And now you repeat the same process. For example, in this map, we didn't get the interior mirror, so we are just going to clear the map, and then we're going to continue with the next one. This is an example of a map where you are not going back, or the essence like the previous one. You are checking the meds essences. So we'll learn an image in the screen about what meds mean. It's basically an acronym for some of the most valuable essences. The ones that are concerning to the special effects once you power up the item, the mob. We're checking the beasts. Here's a frog, for example. This is a frog, so that's pretty good. I was lucky that we found one in the showcase. Okay. And that's it. Let me check the... So we actually found the frog. We actually found them twice. Oh, that's hilarious. Okay, so and you do that once you identify that you found a frog, like we just saw in the showcase. You go to your bestiary and you use your regex and you take them out, so you don't risk them getting overridden by the new beasts. And then you can check for the lower tier ones. That's a different regex because you cannot fit more than 50 characters in the search bar. And as you can see, we've got also 2 of the wolves. These are 7 chaos each, and the frog is 4 divines. Okay, this is already 16 divines. Yeah, that's mostly where the money is going to come from, and this is liquid currency because they sell pretty fast. And yeah, that's the whole process. It's quite simple. You are not doing the woods, you're not doing any kind of extra or giga juice. As you can see, it's 1 second standard. You can get them in bulk, and it's only 1 scarab that you just add, and you have to refresh this each about 50 maps. Yeah, 50 maps. Since we are using this node,